Hi, I'm Kawa, and this is QWA Podcast. In this show, we invite friends from the architectural fraternity for a casual conversation. From design think tank to integrated practice, we discuss the trials and tribulations of architectural pursuit. We hope this informal sharing will spark conversation among the listeners. Let's begin. My guest today run two practices, Erat Architects and Adrianta Aziz Architect, also a founder of three learning and education platform, ARN Consulting, Learning Architecture Practice, and B Architect, and also a CEO of Bina Impian Development, PAM Education Committee Chairman, and future ACEA Chairman in the next term. It is the one and only Architect Adrianta Aziz. Hello and welcome. How are you doing today?
Hi, Kawa. Welcome. Thank you so much. I'm good. I'm very good. Feeling good with the good vibes.
Yeah.
How about you? You okay?
Yep. I'm good. The children is all good, and I think we just give our feedback to our alma mater UiTM with regards to
Yeah.
their syllabus revision. And one of the things that you highlight is the participation in annual student architecture workshop. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
me myself have participated during my student years, and I think you can benefit from that event. And what are some of the latest content, since we have multiple workshop during these few years that can deliver certain intended outcome to the students?
Right. Thank you, Architect Kawa. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. And then, as you know that, with this current situation, is a kind of a reflections for all of us. Yeah, to regenerate, to revive, so that we can be better and better. And then coming back to your first question about the students' architecture workshops, yeah,
Yeah.
that your question saying that what is the content, and then what's the benefit about these architecture workshops. I mean, all this is about perceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as myself, Kawa, I used to participate at this architecture workshop back year 1993 and also 1997.
Mm-hmm.
And as a host back in 1997 was in UiTM at the time with the team of New Horizon, and advisory for architecture workshop back year 2015. Well, I mean, most of the students wouldn't know about this platform. I mean, the architecture student workshop is kind of is a very good advantage. Is a networking,
Mm-hmm.
and subsequently you can improve your soft and hard skill to discovery, working as a team. Because I always believe, as an architect, that you have to work as a team, because together everyone achieve more. And then subsequently it will train you to more about leaderships, the time management, the creativity. I mean, talking about your IQ, your EQ, your SQ, and you can improve yourself by looking on this perspective of versatility, multitasking, and surely that you have a determination to achieve goal, and everybody working as a team, everybody got a goal itself in the such module provided by the host. And that kind of the experience outside of the studio, outside of the classroom, outside of the campus, the student can observe themselves, and of course having fun and enjoyment is a kind of reflection actually.
And I think your keen interest in education, precede, institutional syllabus, and I think you have established few platform with regards to that, and the platform is trying to encourage and nurture professionalism among young architects to develop their maturity, wisdom, and intellect. But some of them are not coming with the right mindset when they are partaking or start to look at professionalism with regards to improving themselves, but rather they think it is a license for opening a business. Maybe you can share a bit what is the right mindset one should adopt before preparing for the professional certification exam.
Right. Thank you for that question. I mean, as an architect, this is one part of my obligation, after you become a licensed architect, a professional architect, and then you have your moral responsibility to, to encourage the young architects, they go and take the professional examination so that they can have an entitlement. But this is my opinion,
Mhm.
my my suggestion actually. We do respect, I always say that, when the university lifestyle as a student, after they graduate and then they start to working to the building industry,
Mhm.
kind of an exploration by saying that this is my statement. I'm not sure you agree or not. I can say that based on my observation, based on my experience, I also as a student before, and then when I graduate, start to work and explore, observe. Only 10% what we have learned from university is only 10%. And
Mhm.
then what happened to the other 90% is about you have to gain and learning through your working experience.
Right.
So unlikely the correct mindset that for those young graduates, who want to take the professional platform.
Mhm.
Number one is about your sincerity. Yeah, you have to be sincere to yourself. Actually, Kawa,
Right.
you ask yourself that you have to be, set your mind that saying that I have to sincere to go to this journey to this platform with honors, with full of integrity, with a positive mindset. Because we're talking about professionalism, but in the other angle, it's about patience. Our profession is about patience. So not only professionalism, but it's about passionalism as well. So you have a very strong determination and facing the truth, and then caring enough to, don't afraid to fear facing failure.
Yeah.
So this is about to involve the intelligent quotient
Mhm.
and the emotional quotient and also spiritual quotient, because I think this is the whole package that, before you want to enter it, most of the candidates, they already said, well, oh, I have to pass, and then they're
Mhm.
afraid of the failure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a reflection, Kawa.
Yeah.
You as a professional architect, practicing architect, we're facing failure almost every day,
Mhm.
So my advice is check it out. What is your serial processing of yourself
Mhm.
about the intellectual quotient, and also your emotional quotient as well. And don't forget the holistic of the spiritual quotient. So means it, you need to be humble, when you observe this knowledge and hearing all this sharing session and knowledge by the facilitator, you check it out, either you practice a wrong practice or even being polluted. So
Mhm.
that's why you have to be humble, and then don't forget you need to be strategize your mission statement here, and have to be study smart. This is my opinion about this.
Yeah, I think it's you have to develop yourself and grow, and somehow mature, and eventually, if that young architect or that particular young architect pass the exam and eventually open up their own practice,
Yeah.
we can see that some of this architect has a few problems in the formative years. Can you maybe share a bit what are the common mistakes this startup did when they just started open up shop?
Wow, this is a question that I'm kind of a very sensitivity question, but uh, I mean, we do respect. This is only my opinion,
Yeah.
it's my observation, because I'm not the best person to say it, but this
Mhm.
is based on my running practice with my experience before. I'm also asking my senior members, to set up. What's the common mistake that I discover, which I
Mhm.
already told you before, that most of the young architects, they set up their practice and came to see me and then share their problems.
Mhm.
I mean, this is the common mistake that in architecture setup practice. I
Mhm.
mean, for the earlier years for formation of this practice, most of them not be thinking and moving smartly.
Yeah.
They forgot about their strategy. They forgot about this what architect Ken Yang had delivered, this sentiment about GDR. You get a job, how you want to get a job, how you want to doing the job, and how you want to running the job. So the common mistake from the young graduate, young architects especially, In fact, for the young graduate as well, they have to inception their mind. You need to strategize. Don't emotionally. You know, they got lust. You know, they got nafsu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So most of them, the mistake is they start with the big debts. You know, a big overhead. Overhead. You know, I mean, this is a mistake.
Yeah.
You even though you have your own big capital, personally maybe you just have your own saving using your KWSP or what, and then do the big loan from the bank. I mean, that's not, I mean, this is my observation. That's not a good start. You know,
Yeah.
if possible that you're running with a zero debts beginning, you know, you just, you know, ukur baju sendiri lah, you know.
Yeah, betul.
So with the non-connection, non-networking, and then most of them are, I have to tell the truth, they're egoistic.
Yeah.
When they have past patri, they're so eager to open up their firm, and then they become so ego, the way they talk to people. I'm sorry to say that this is the a very common challenges, common mistake that we foresee here. Yeah.
I mean, I have to admit myself. I mean, my other practical architect Sdn Bhd, which is I just opened like the last 2 years, still having a difficulty to sustain a good revenue. Maybe you can give some advice. What are some of the things that we can do to mitigate the fact that we don't have a consistent revenue?
Right, Kawa. I mean, as you know that since architecture setup usually begin with a very limited resources. Can you imagine that you want to set up your firm? The first thing, the big challenge is you want to buy all the gadgets, all your tools, softwares. I mean, the licensed softwares is a huge things to deal with. You know, but for me, this my opinion. Maybe either people will listen to my advice or not, but with due respect, I always believe on the business plan. Yeah, you need to strategize your business plan. Of course, everybody got a goals with ideas, set up the team, and you have to do your own marketing. You know how to strategize your business roadmap, especially to identify, you have your vision as a team, organization, strategize with the goals, and you need to employ, you know, a competent staff, your teammates. I mean, this is the opportunity to share with you, Kawa, how to value ourselves as a quality architects. You know, as you know that all of us, we are a good creativity person. You know, we can visualize the 3D dimensions. We also as an active listener to hear and also to interpret what the client say, what the people say with the strategic thinking. And then you need to focus your long-term goal. Actually, you have your projection in planning, in time, financial management, and also the integration with intimidation, so that you can extract relevant information that you on yourself, and technical understanding, so that you can interpret the regulation and contracts matters, and the lateral thinkings, so that you can be able to produce alternative solution to solve your problems, to the client's problem, to well organized, so that you not avoid the work disruptions, and provide, you know, surely provide a good management, decisive, assertive, proactive, and the sentiment of leadership quality, so that you can lead all your team, all your consultants to handle particular projects, and truly to be honest, truthful, faithful all times. Be patient. Be patient to handling the matters. Because to tell the truth, Kawa, we are not selling products. We are selling our services.
Correct.
So we're providing our services. So I believe that all of us need to go back to how to make a collaboration strategy. This is the model of a collaborations where you have everybody have a goal. You have your project team, how to run your co-participation in process with the content. My response to you here need to be unity. You need to collaborate, because unity is a strength.
Correct.
When there is a teamwork and collaboration, I believe is wonderful things will be achieved. So that's the strength of the team actually. Each individual members consists with the team, so that collaborate with people that you can learn more. So that's the great things in business. Never done by one person. I never believe on one person involvement.
I think you mentioned hiring competent talent and eventually building up a team. And there is also a question, especially for young practitioners, when should we start to employ, or when should we start to expand, and how do we get the correct personnel? What kind of filter or expectation should we put onto them so that we get a cohesive team that you mentioned just
Correct.
now? Yeah.
Precisely. I mean, you to define the competency, it's not easy, but that's why keep learning, keep observe. Don't be shy to ask people, you know what I mean?
So how do you evaluate your potential staff? Which one is good enough? Which one is compatible behavior-wise to the team? How do you make your hiring decision?
I mean, people like us, we running a practice, let be patient, full of patience. Let's growth like nature. I mean, to recruit your staff, your team, and to find the correct personnel to be part of your team. I always believe on number one, with the right attitude. When you see the person with the right attitude, very sincere to work with you, with your team, honesty, full of integrity, that's about your spiritual content about it. And to create, to believe, to take risks. I mean, this is the future decision that you have to be very strong and very daring. I mean, all this team that you want to identify the competency, it's not about the skill only. It's about the spiritual part. You have to be multitasking, sharing same goals, can work with a team. I mean, all these things can become a one picture, one criteria, so that you can identify who is your team that you want to choose to work with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a holistic things, because as you can see that the candidates came to see you and then say, Mr. Kawa, can I work with you, and then show your profile, show your portfolio and everything. But if the person is not in the right attitude, so with the special skill, not pointless. You have to be a right attitude, actually.
Yeah, I think
You know,
that also there is a sharing lah by Datuk Izumi, our PAM president, with regards to how do you formulate fee. I think you are the host of it, and I think at one point you have smiled, ada senyum sikit due to the fact that maybe the perception of how architects see fee versus how our client see fee is totally contrast. And I think
exactly.
And I think what Datuk Izmi trying to do is trying to protect the employee by giving them a sizable salary that compatible to their particular qualification. But right now you can see that there's a lot of mismatch of expectation between employee and employer with regards to pay or salary. And how do you address that? I mean, of course, Datuk Izmi has shown one way to do it, deriving your fee from their salary. But is there any other way that we can try to address this mismatch?
Well, I'm not going to the Datuk Izumi's thoughts and statement, because this is about technicality and about numbering, about the grading of the salary.
Yeah.
But for me, as a practicing architect, we providing services, but in the way that we're running business, actually.
Yeah.
So first of all, during your recruitment, I mean the interview session, when you met these candidates, came to see you and ask you a certain salary, with such a good portfolio, asking about the experience wise. But the most common thing is that I need to see the loyalty, because when I saw the candidates came to see you, and then the working experience, that he's working with this firm 6 months, and then after that 1 month, and then change to another firm about 1 year. Keep jumping from one firm to another firm. It's like he or she shopping around to find a good salary. But for me, besides Dato' Izumi's calculations terms, I'm looking on the angle of what I told you just now, the IQ, the SQ, and the EQ. The candidates have to self-value. He have to measure his skill and knowledge. And then, you know, he have to portray the experience wise with the right attitude. Personally, I want to share that these two candidates came to see me wanted to working with me,
Yeah.
with my team. And one candidate is from Polytechnic and another one is just grad from overseas. I don't want to mention the universities,
Yeah.
okay, from overseas. So the overseas candidate, part two, came and to see us, and then he don't have any experience. After he graduated for 6 months, and I asked him, so what happened in 6 months? We said, so I'm not working, I just, you know, travel around, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then asking the salary about 8,000,
Fresh
you know,
graduate.
for first fresh graduate.
Yeah.
So I'm asking him, and so what's your value to
Uh-huh.
the market? Your salary is 8,000 per month.
Mm.
The best answer that he could give is that because I'm a overseas graduate. And then when I asked the other candidates from Polytechnic,
Mm.
he requests for his technical assistant for 1,200. And I told him that's too small. Why you ask me to your salary about 1,200? And
Mm.
he's so humble, say I'm a Polytechnic candidate. I need to learn more.
Mm.
So I need to observe and experience and so on. That's the key things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When you have your qualification, then you become ego, and then you
Mm.
just say that, oh, because I'm graduate from overseas, that's why I request 8,000 per month.
Yeah.
So when I ask a simple question, a fundamental question, that what is the size of bricks, for example,
Mm.
you couldn't answer. And then, okay, never mind. You never see the bricks before. So this is very fundamental. What's the maximum distance from one pi hydrant to one pi hydrant? He couldn't answer, but the Polytechnic candidate can answer easily.
Mm.
So this is about the personality. It's about your self-value, your
Yeah.
direction, your aim, your goal. You have to be honest with integrity. Be humble. Don't too egoistic. I mean, for me, those candidates so eager out there after they graduate, they want to go and find a big salary.
Yeah.
For me, Kawa, I always believe is the beautiful thing when a career and a patient came along.
Yeah.
Because stay patient and trust your journey, even though you have your dream, follow your dream, but don't forget you follow your passion, because always look on the bright side of life.
Yeah.
Do it passionately, not at all. Because for this is very common. Yeah, they want to work for money. So
Mm.
for me, don't work for money, work because you want to learn,
Yeah. For
work
knowledge.
for freedom. You know, all our dreams can come true if we have your courage to pursue them. You can get what you work for, but not what you wish for.
Mm.
So don't be so addicted about money. You know, work to learn. Don't work for money. Work for knowledge.
Yeah.
Even I have to declare to you, Kawa, after I graduate from Oxford Bruce,
Mm.
came back to Malaysia. I have 1 year experience working in London with I don't say a big amount of salary, but it's just good for me to sustain my life in London.
Mm.
But when I came back, I don't ask to ask for the big salary, because we knew that we have a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to observe.
Right.
You want to provide helping your firm, helping your boss. You know, let the boss value yourself. If the boss said that, okay, if you don't mind that I can pay you like 2,500, I still remember my first salary, 2,500 for part two.
Mm. Mm.
And then you start to grow
Yeah.
from 2,500, and then after many years experience, and then I have to take my charges to work in the developers before with a certain salary, but quickly I come back in the architect firms, because you need to learn from the growth. Like nature, it's not like aim for higher, and then
Mm.
for example, if a candidate's high aim for higher, and during this pandemic,
Yep.
most of the firm drops cutting
Mm.
salary, you know, and then you become, oh, don't know what to do. So you have to observe how to make it your life in uncertain.
Yeah.
So this why my advice is about don't work for money actually.
Yeah.
You
But
just
yeah,
work for knowledge.
I agree. Some candidate could be a little bit delusional with regards to their value to the workplace. I mean, there's a certain set of quality that is needed.
Yeah.
For example, understanding the legal framework and whatnot. But in all of your public engagement, either lecture, forum, webinars, you always mention this term, healthy architect. And I just want to maybe kupas sikit lah what does
All right.
the definition of healthy architect and how do we become one? What should we do to become one?
Well, when you're talking about healthy, I'm not talking about the physical healthy on that manner. You know, I'm talking about the architecture practice. You know, I mean, if you want to be a healthy person, there's so many ways. You jaga makan, you know your diets, you go exercise, you know, and so on. That's another angle. But we're talking about healthy architecture practice because you want to become a healthy. I always believe on it. This is a journey actually. Yeah, I mean, do what you love and love what you do, kawan. So a lot of people, I mean, architecture, uh, they always aim for, like I told you just now, they aim for money, they aim for richness. You know, obviously everybody want to be rich. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, everybody want to be, you know, a good life and so on. But that's not a goal. You know, for me, you aim for success. Once you aim for success, the richness, the, you know, a lot of good things, you know, you have come automatically. If you aim for success, then you know you will set your mind that what I said just now. You have to find what you love to do.
Yeah.
You know, some of the architects, they, you know, they say, oh, I want to be the good architect, I want to be the best architect. You know, obviously everybody want to be that, but you know, if you aim for richness, if you want to be the best, but your life is upside down, I don't want to hear that you're already rich, you are said millionaire, but what is condition of richness if you still paying debts,
Yeah.
if you still cheating people, if you still dishonest, if you still cannot pay your salary to your staff, upgrading your staff salary, upgrading their skill, what for? I mean, if you aim for an healthy architecture practice, then everything going to be smooth. Then the bottom line is you want to be happy,
Yeah.
because doing healthy practice, doing a healthy architecture, then you will be happy architects. Because I always believe to achieve success is a journey. It's not a destination. And architecture is about helping society. You're living nature, you're living environment. It's not about you providing your architecture because of you. Now another angle. Oh, this is the one I designed. This is the one I can manage to winning award and everything. It's about you. But you never thought about your duty of care. You never thought about people working with you. I mean, again, Kawa, you know, everybody want to work very hard,
Yeah.
but you forgot about the healthy management, healthy practice,
Yeah.
and a lot of things to say this.
In the context of our small practice, we took a lot of renovation, ID, small jobs lah, which require the homeowner to employ the architect for the first time. Actually, the public has very little knowledge on what architect actually do. They just found out that from the local authority, they need someone to become, you know, the submitting person, or what we call it in Malaysia, PSP. And then basically, in a lot of projects, they are often surprised with the fee that we quoted. I mean, if you look at it, engineer's fee for a small reno pun dah 2-3K. Architect will be slightly more.
Yeah.
And they don't understand why such fee is being imposed, because for them, it's just like maybe 1 or 2 sheet of A1. And then it's just submission of borang B, borang F, all those paperwork. To them, in their eye, it looks like it is something that they can do themselves. So why, I mean, not why lah, why, how do we bridge that gap of understanding of the public of what architect do and what is actually, you know, they are paying for? How do we explain to it to our clients?
That's the thing. I'm. Don't be surprised that a public out there, you know, I'm quite shocked. That said, I made a client want to do a bungalow, and then they said that we don't want an architect to design a bungalow to do my bungalow because I already have engineers to do that. So public, they don't understand our profession. They don't understand what's our role actually. So I mean, architects is a how to say this? Architect is a dream maker. We're gonna make people's dreams come reality, come true. So we need to promote our profession actually. Yeah, when we were trying our hard to promote our profession to publics, there are so many platforms, and especially especially in PAM. Yeah, PAM is an institute, so it's the best platform. Most of the candidates most of people, among us, they don't understand, oh, what's PAM for? PAM didn't give it to me. Actually, it's wrong perception. You use PAM as a platform to promote your identity, your signature. You promote your profession, maintain our profession with integrity, with honest, with a good level of competency, with the right attitude, because architecture is expressions of values. Because those people, they don't understand our values. Kawa, because how I want to say this, because never take sides in conflict that you know nothing about it. Because what people know about our professionals, we are a person with a special skill. We have knowledge to create, to design, to manage, to plan. We also have conducts, with a certain competency level, honesty, with the right attitude, self-regulatory. If you do misconduct, malpractice, we have a disciplinary action with our boards from the Lembaga Architect Malaysia. And we are the person with accountability. And obviously, we have our responsibility, Kawa. Professional responsibility, contractual responsibility, we have legal responsibility, we have moral responsibility. This is the thing that I always sharing to not only among us, but to people, to public. And then let's start to understand what is the role of architects, what is the duties of architect, what's the obligation of architect, what is the liability itself. So that's the thing that I sometimes, how to say that, it takes sadness to know happiness, noise to appreciate silence, and absent to value the presence. So all is about value. Understand your worth, value your life, and appreciate your blessing. This kind of the magical skill that you want to portray, to build your personal brand, how you see yourself, how others see you. This is your personal brand, the brand identity itself. Caring, principle, inquiries, balance, risk takers. We are thinkers, communication skill, knowledgeable. How to create your brand actually.
With that food for thought, I think that is all the time that we have this week. Thank you so much, Architect Adrianta Aziz. You can follow Adrianta Aziz on Facebook and also Instagram. And basically, please subscribe to QWA YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Until the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kawa. Take care. Be safe, yeah. Bye.
If you enjoyed the session, be sure to subscribe to QWA YouTube channel so you will be notified if a new episode is posted. Thank you for listening. Until next time.